think it might be just as difficult to navigate as the roads around here would be the 15th hole, though it is short. Could play as little as 78 yards, and even though it is the shortest hole on this course by far, it could be one of the most challenging. Let's hear what the players had to say about the par 3 15th.
On 15, it can play 90 yards. That's good. I typically love short par threes. I think, a lot of the greatest courses that we play around the world all have a short par 4 and a short par 3, and they can end up being, kind of the trickiest, I guess, as well.
I remember, you almost had to practice teeing up a 60-degree lob wedge, an inch off the ground, which you never do, and just trying to hit it perfect, because you had to hit it with height, you had to hit it with spin. It's only going to be that much more important this week if they do move it up. I'm sure they will.
It's different. You're going to have to spin the life out of it and hit your number. Quite thankful Mark Blackburn has been so hard on me of getting my wedges good, because that little shot is awkward. But there's a couple ways to play. You can go long left and try to spin it off the bank. You can kind of go a little bit more at it, or try to miss it almost right of it so that you're putting or chipping uphill.
Very rarely you're going to have a hole that short where the best players in the world are going to be thinking about going 20 feet long left to use that slope to at least hit the green, right? And that's something beautiful. That's a hole that gives you a lot to think about. And I wish we saw more of them like that.
Short par threes have had a significant impact on U.S. Open history. You think about Pebble Beach, that 7th hole, Tom Kite pitching in the final round to win in 1992, and then Phil Mickelson airmailing the short 13th at Merion in 2013. With more on this 15th hole, we bring in John Wood, who's on the ground for NBC this week and helping us out a little bit. And John, I'm just curious, what advice you would be giving to your man if you had a bag on your shoulder this week at 15?
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal, tricky little hole, and it's going to have a lot to say about who takes home that trophy on Sunday. The other 4 par 3s on this golf course will grab the headlines, 2 of them mostly just because of the yardage, 284, 290. Those are very intimidating numbers. To me, though, those holes are more about execution. They're not going to put doubt in the players' heads. Pick a mid-iron to long iron, maybe a hybrid, and hit the shot. Land it on the front, try and get it to the middle of the green. This hole, the 15th, is going to require a lot more strategy, a lot more planning by the players and caddies. And it's just, there's 4 hole locations here, and one of them specifically is going to be very difficult, and we'll talk about that. But one of the things that makes this hole so difficult is it's going to play downwind. A lot of shots in golf, that's fantastic. Not for pros with wedges. Hitting a shot downwind with a wedge does a few things. One, it lowers the ball flight. It knocks it down, meaning it's coming in at a shallower angle and more likely to tip your ball in the right spot on this green. And 3, we know U.S. Opens. Every single one of these greens is going to get firmer and firmer as the week goes on. So those 3 things are going to make this short shot very difficult for the pros. But the difficulty to me comes in 2 specific hole locations, and we'll get to those in a second. We'll talk about the back hole locations first. So here we are at the green, short. Or it'll be extremely difficult. The back hole locations in the huge area back here are not going to be too bad. You've got plenty of green to work with, but you're still going to have to judge that first big skip, which is very unpredictable with firm greens, low wedges, and no spin. These, though, are doable. You're going to be able to get somewhere near these. And I think it's going to be, when the pins are back here, the hole will play around par, maybe even under par. But there are 2 more hole locations on this green that are going to cause the players all the issues. Both of them kind of fish over on this right side. Now we've got players hitting up right now, so we'll take a little pause and I'll just point them out to you from here. There's one hole location right off of this slope here, I think, in the right center of the green, about 5 yards behind it to the back. That hole location, I think, may be accessible if they choose to use this slope over here. Maybe place some sort of a wedge, land it just over, use this to kind of get some cut spin going back to the hole and down to the right. Now, the really fun one, And the one I think everybody hopes they use on Sunday is this front right in this little tiny sliver of the green. It could measure only 80 yards, which for nobody in this field is a full shot, especially downwind. Now, there's two ways to play, I think, to this 80-yard hole. One, very similar to the hole we talked about here. Use this slope, take it 30 feet left, try and cut spin it. If it comes down, great. If not, you've got a 30-footer from uphill, no issue at all. The second play is one I didn't see at all until I talked to Ricky Fowler yesterday. And he thought to this hole location, anything coming in low is most likely one big skip into this back bunker, and the sand is very soft. Most likely it'll plug even on a bounce. Ricky Fowler told me that to this hole location, from 80 yards, he's going to try and intentionally miss the green. Hit something over into this short fairway mown area, almost like fringe. Anything just short, even a hair long, it's very straightforward. Putt or chip off fairway cut to an uphill green from 80 yards. The other thing, it's one of the last true, in your head at least, birdie opportunities coming down to Sunday. So you may see some guys take some chances knowing that 16, 17, and 18 are so long and such difficult holes.
All right, John,
Rich?
thank you. I know Billy Casper laid up famously at Winged Foot at number 3 at a U.S. Open many moons ago, but laying up from or intentionally missing the green from 80 yards, that'll have people carping. It's going to be a famous hole by week's end.
Actually, there is precedent for that right here. That little 17 hole, McDonald Smith, going back 100 years ago when it was on a windy day and every player was going for it and screaming bloody murder because it was too impossible. McDonald Smith laid up, and it was only like 75, 80 yards or something, laid up, chipped up, made a bogey and won. George Thomas lauded him in the book. So maybe Ricky Fowler's taking a page out of historical books in that regard.
You know, Brandon, I don't know about you, but I spend too much of my time playing US Opens looking at the difficulty of holes and looking at these tricky pin positions and using up energy and having the negative mindset of, you know, how am I going to make a par in this tricky place? US Opens also, and this golf course gives you lots of opportunities to go on the front foot and take it on. And I'm going to make a prediction there'll be a hole-in-one on that. When that pin is back right with a sloping green from left to right and the wind that's down off the left-hand side, the ball is naturally going to feed in there, and you're only hitting probably a sand wedge, maybe a three-quarter wedge. So, you know, as difficult as that front right pin position is when it's firm, there's no doubt about that, that's when you back off. But when the pin is over there near where that golf bag is, that's when you go on the front foot and take it on.
Yeah.
So that's what great players do. We talk about seasoning initiative, understanding situations. US Open champions do that better than anybody else. That's why it's such a great test.